Markets are reversing course today, so let's take a look and see how bad it's going to get and what is going on. So the financial elite are meeting in Davos, and right now they see a major risk ahead for markets with looming U.S. debt standoff. So this is academic in terms of the debt ceiling and continuing to raise it to fund the government. So we have this coming up this week, and the markets do not like uncertainty when it comes to the debt limits and debt ceiling. We've seen some big market moves on that. So if they don't get their act together and increase the debt limit and fund the government, markets might continue to descend rapidly, very quickly. And we've seen this before multiple times. So that's one of the risks. The other thing is a lot of the speakers in Davos and a lot of the investors that are there and analysts are seeing turbulent times ahead for 2023 as we continue to see layoffs in the tech sector and things like that. But we still have not seen layoffs at scale on Main Street as the labor market is still a bit unbalanced. So the Dow finished down 1.81, S&P down 1.5, NASDAQ down 1.24. So not terrible, but just kind of nipping away and chipping away at that bull market rally that we've had the last few days. So here's the Dow working its way back down to this trend line. That's going to be a key support level right there for the Dow to see if it'll hold this little trend here. And if it can continue to find support down that trend line right there, or will it break, test, and then continue down and go take out this prior low in October? Nobody knows. We don't know. That's what we're waiting to find out and see. NASDAQ rejecting perfectly off that trend line. I was looking for that to get hit, and it got hit today, rejected right off of it. Every time it's done that, pretty much goes down and puts in a new low. So the question is, will this low get taken out or will it hold? That's a nice little line in the sand to draw right across here to where we have this triangle kind of forming along this bottom angle here. So that'll be interesting to see if NASDAQ works its way back down there to test that level. Here's your S&P, same thing, pegged the trend line perfectly in reverse. So it's kind of interesting how the markets have kind of done the same thing the whole way in this bear market, respecting this trend line, except for the Dow. This was a rotation of capital, broke the trend line that it had respected all the way to this point. The question is, can it remain above? If not, then we're definitely going to be looking for lower lows on the Dow. And the VIX reversing course, as we talked about, 18 on the VIX is not good, and looking for a reversal back up to this 34 area, which would bring new lows to the markets. Dixie kind of stalling out right here on this major area of support right here, and the 10-year broke the plane and broke this level of support. So how low will the 10-year get? Kind of working back to this June area here. We'll just have to wait and see. 3.3. This will stimulate and drop mortgage rates a little bit, which will stimulate the housing market, put a little more pressure on the real estate market. So a little bit of relief there. Oil kind of stalling out a little bit, and gold kind of stalling out as well. So turbulent times for the markets right now. Let's take a look at Bitcoin and crypto. Bitcoin rejecting off the trend of this range here that we've been looking at, and putting in a little bit of a reversal, finding a little bit of support right now, but ultimately most likely going to work its way back down. We pulled the fib on this the other day for retracement, looking for that 0.38 retracement down around the 19,300 level. And then, of course, 0.5, and then back down to previous trends and marching its way up the trend line. So that's probably what's most likely going to happen for Bitcoin. Something like this, kind of hang out, work its way down here, and then kind of, continue to pop its way up and down in this area like that as it goes along through time here. And this trend line kind of extends out. So ultimately creating a little wedge situation here that it can kind of consolidate in this range for a little while before we get to the Fed comments and, the next Fed meeting to see what they're going to do about interest rates and things. Ethereum kind of plugging along, same thing, reversing. Most of the major alts doing the same thing. Everything just kind of backing up and giving up the gains, not completely, but kind of working their way there over the last couple of days. Real estate market is starting to pick up a little bit of steam. We're seeing some inventory come back on the market right now. Interest rates are low, so that's going to spur people off the bench that have been waiting as long as there's something out there to buy. So interesting times ahead. We'll see what comes out of the Davos conference tomorrow. Lael Brainard of the Fed is going to speak. She's the most dovish member of the Fed. So if she comes out super hawkish and wants to browbeat the markets, that'll be interesting to see what the response to that's going to be. If she comes out tough with hawkish talk, then the markets will definitely continue their descend and their decline. So those are the things that we're looking at today. If you're new to the channel, I talk about all things entrepreneurship, real estate investing, markets, crypto, because what I've done over the last 30 years is build companies that generate cash flow to invest in other assets. So it's one thing to make money, it's another thing to keep it and to grow it exponentially, generationally. So that's what this channel is all about. And of course, I have courses and coaching programs to help you. Put out a couple of videos on that, but those are the things that I talk about on this channel here: buying businesses, starting businesses, online, offline, especially in the online space now. I think the future of entrepreneurship is online, and it's a skill-based, knowledge-based economy right now. That's where the biggest money is to be made moving forward in the economy. And wherever you make your money, you ultimately want to protect it, grow it, and sustain it for the next generation and for your own lifestyle. So that's what this channel is all about: entrepreneurship, investing, whether it's real estate, companies, stocks, crypto, creating, protecting, and growing your generational wealth. So these are the things that I'm looking at and talking about. I'll see you on the next video.